Hey, this is Cody from Silver 7, and today I'm going to be making some pork back ribs in the smoker. And as a special treat, I got my wife to make us some potato salad. Let's go. Alright, so I got my 2 racks of ribs, and the first thing I'm going to do is turn them over and pull that membrane off the back. I know on cooking shows you can quite often see those guys rip the membrane off in one go, but I am definitely not a rock star, and it took me a couple times to get it off on both ribs, but that's okay. We move on. Now I'm just going to flip them over and just give them a quick pat down. Now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut these ribs in half. This way it will fit on the racks of the smoker that I have. Now I'm going to flip these racks over and I'm going to start prepping them for the rub. I'm going to start with a thin layer of mustard. This will act as a binder for the rub to stick onto the meat. Once I get some squeezed on there, I'm just going to lightly spread it around. Once the mustard is evenly spread out, I'm going to start putting on some smoked paprika. This will give the meat some nice flavor and some coloring. Next, I'm going to add a healthy dash of onion powder. And for these ribs, I'm going to finish them off with some Barbecue Pit Boys Almighty Rub. And then just give it a gentle pat down to tack it on. Once it's tacked on for a few minutes, then we're going to flip the ribs over and we're going to do the same process on the other side. Add the mustard and add the spices. In my smoker I like to add a water pan, and this serves 2 purposes. One, it keeps the surface of the meat moist, and it also protects the meat if there's any flare-ups from fire below. I want the water vapors inside that water pan to have flavor itself, so I'll add an onion, and then I'll add a couple dashes of basil, and then a few dashes of sage. And finish it off with just a little dash of lemon. This will give those water vapors a lot of flavor. Now I'm going to light my smoker to get it up to temperature, and we're going to start filling it. Now for some reason where I live, it's a lot easier to get wood pellets than it is chips, so right now I'm using pecan wood pellets. I've got my smoker temperature set up to about 250 degrees, and you'll start to see that wood smoke coming around. I'm going to leave my ribs in the smoker for about 3 hours. But I'll check them, say, at the 2-hour mark and give them a quick spray of vinegar. And while we're waiting for these ribs to cook, Kira's going to make her potato salad. So after washing the potatoes and cubing them up, she puts them in a steam container and adds salt and a little bit of water. And while the spuds are cooking, we're going to get to the bacon. We're just going to let those dry and cool down, and we're going to chop up some pickles. And give those guys a dice and a nice mince. Now we pop them in a salad bowl. And we add some mayonnaise and some mustard. And as a special treat, straight from our greenhouse, we have some fresh dill that Kira's gonna chop up. And in it goes into the mixture with a few dashes of paprika and a few dashes of onion powder as well. And now she gives it a good mix. And mashes just a little bit. And then she throws in the bacon. And as an added bonus for color and flavor, we've got some green onion. Give it another quick mix and we're going to leave it in the fridge for a few hours. Let those flavors meld together. So it's been about 3 hours, and we're going to pull these ribs off the racks for phase 2 of our cook. These ribs are looking really good. They already have a nice bark and a nice color to them. So once I have them inside, I'm going to grab some foil, and I'm going to give them a generous layer of sauce. Just a nice even coating all around. And then I like to add a little sprinkle of brown sugar just for that extra added caramelized flavor. And then I start wrapping them up. The moisture content that's already inside the meat, plus the added barbecue sauce, when wrapped, is going to really steam these ribs, and it's going to make them tender. I'm going to throw them back into the smoker for another 2 hours. And here we are. The meat is cooked and it's time for the reveal. Tender, juicy, fall off the bone. Oh yeah. Paired with Kira's wonderful potato salad, this is a Sunday dinner, Silver 7 style.